following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's the music, movies, and shows you love.
As if we care.
And hate.
You ain't gonna like it none.
And love to hate.
I didn't expect that at all.
This is The Broken Remote.
And coming to you live on tape on this Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. It is the Broken Remote. Rich and Will coming at you on this Tuesday night as we try to catch up on shows past.
I'm
Taxes.
so behind.
I actually did ultimately get my taxes in, but I think me and my wife had to file for an extension. We gave it to the accountant, and he was just like, really? I said, I don't know what to tell you. This is what it is. We don't have that much stuff, so why don't you just do what you can and file the extension. We don't care about getting the money back. We just
It's
don't
okay.
get
They
docked.
fired most of the IRS the last couple months. One good thing Trump has done, probably also to save all of his billionaire friends a couple of shekels. But,
A little bit. There has been a lot of Trump financial ramifications taking place in our
cryptocurrency
economy.
scam? I don't know what scams you're talking about. No,
I
everything
can't
was
keep
chip
track
shit.
of it all anymore, to be honest.
It is exhausting. It is like YouTube drama, or just like when people try to read celebrity stuff. It is just this never-ending fire hydrant of information that I try to listen to, and it just blows me away.
Yeah, everybody and their goddamn brother. They used to do sports. Then sports kind of ran its course. There's not a whole shit ton of money to be made off it. Not
Where's
to
the
mention,
Stephen A. Smith of politics? Dude?
Right.
I want that. I want that analyzer my Monday nights.
well, I do the Broken Helmet with my brother, which is an NFL podcast, and I have a X handle on that. And I posted at one point, I don't know, in the past month or so, that that politics is the new sports talk when Stephen A. Smith is doing it, every barber shop, haircutter's doing it, every soccer mom's talking about it. It's all anybody talks about. They used to talk about sports nonsensically. Now they just talk about politics. Like, everybody has an opinion.
Coming to you
including
live.
us.
My name is Hassan Piker. I never really graduated from college, and I am a supposed socialist living in Los Angeles in a $3 million home. And let me tell you how to live a proper life. And you're like, thank you so much. Tell me the intricacies.
Dude, it's
of how these things work.
fucking nuts. I just can't believe the volume of political talk. Nobody used to care. They all used to just go about their lives, make their money, talk about anything other than politics. But ever since Trump, and we've talked about it before, he dominates content generation across
I know
the board.
it's the worst thing about him by far and away. I mean, granted, he'll spout up tariffs, crash the U.S. market, and all these other things, ruin my 401k retirement in hopes for starting a happy family. But that's not great either.
Well, the stock market tariff thing is beyond comical.
Starting bounce back, dude.
It's back all the way. It's erased all of the losses from 2025 when he did that. But I swear, for the past 3 weeks,
my life, dude, when he did
I
that
can
was a living hell. I was so mad.
I can
every
only imagine.
single fucking day at that guy.
People just calling up, what's going on? Should I sell?
Yeah. There's
Should
people
I
that
put more
never.
back in?
I've lost $7 whole in my retirement account. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna tell my grandson when he asks for something? And I'm like, ma'am, I'm going to strangle you. Like, I don't care about your problems.
Tell him to work, bitch. Tell him to work.
Yeah.
Tell him to get a job and build from the ground up.
What about my Social Security? It's like, I will stab you. I will stab you.
It's always about you, ma'am.
Yeah,
it's always about you.
Edith. Oh my God! Did you even Rosie or rivet something during World War II? No, get
Rosie
the
the
fuck
Riveter.
out of here.
Have you ever thought about me on the other end of this phone call, having to deal
what
with
about
you and your shit?
Your dumb shit. Oh my God! Every day it's complaining. Why don't you do me a favor, Edith? Okay. God damn it.
I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Boom. Get them.
Right.
I'll just spoil how her favorite show is going to end. Like, all the Golden Girls are dead, just like you. That's gonna be you in a few years.
Just go straight early 2000s rock on her.
Yeah.
And just been like, I'm sorry, what's your name again? Well, my name is... It doesn't matter what your name is. Edith, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Just tear him a new asshole. I don't want to hear from you. Just tell me what you want to do, and that's it. I'm not giving you
Your
advice.
retirement is gone, just like the champ, John Cena.
Have you followed? You don't follow wrestling, right?
No, not at all. I know the Vegas. I know the Paul brothers are crushing it, which infuriates me as well. But here we are.
Well, there's only one in wrestling, but yeah, he has been doing well. But John Cena, they decided to turn heel, which he had never done.
Interesting. Okay.
He actually had started as a heel, but then they turned him into a face, and he's been a face.
How's
for
that working?
20
I thought he
years.
was like the golden boy.
Oh my God, how's it going? That's how it's going.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a pretty big rebrand right there. That's almost as bad as having like 10 years of a social media brand that you just changed the name X. That's pretty bad.
Right? It's like
Pretty bad.
making no sense. But they tried it, and they're still going with it, and it is just not working at all. I mean, the whole angle you can just take and put right into the...
Man, the McMahons are really taking on the chin this year. He gets accused of sexual assault. His wife is now Secretary of Education. Oh my God, just so much things.
What education? There is no more education anymore. They got rid of it.
I will say, do not like Harvard, but she sent them some letter and they just responded back to it, just correcting all of her spelling mistakes.
Did they really?
Which is kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah, that is great. That is fantastic. But
like, maybe, yeah.
I do understand that angle though, because college tuitions. I went to Wake Forest University. When I went to Wake Forest University, it was about $16,000. When I left, it was about 20. It currently is 84 all in.
It's fucking stupid,
like,
dude.
what?
It was so like a private school was like 50 grand when I started. Like when I was going to school, that was like the prices they were talking about. Those same schools are that price you just quoted. Like did the teachers get 1.5 times better? I don't think so. What the fuck is that? Like if you go to school, you better sit down your first day. They hand you the textbook for free, and you open it up, and there's like a $50 grand bill that's just up between
that's what
those
you
pages.
should get.
That's what you should get your first day in, dude.
You should get books with cash in them.
Yeah.
Instead, it's costing you, $5,000 for books now. But shit.
You should walk out with a tech company openly fellatiating you and saying you only have to work 4 days a week. That's what you should get for that degree.
And there's not that many jobs out there that could even capitalize on this.
No,
my education. 4 years cost a total of $80,000. A lot of money. Now, that same education costs what? 4 times?
Four times that, dude.
80,000 is 1 year. So that's 4 of those.
What are you talking about, dude? $250,000, dude. Whatever. It's just a chunk of change right there. A little over.
It's 3, and I had to actually do this. I brag about my education here, and I had to do the math in my head. $320,000. What? That is insane. 80 to 320,000.
That's why what you should do is you take insurance out on your school, you burn it down, and then you claim the insurance money to ironically pay the school back what you owe them.
How would you
These are called life tips from Will. You're welcome.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, feel free to email us the results at brokenremote@gmail.com.
There you go.
That's an email, right? Yeah, let's.
Yeah. No. The broken remote is actually, I haven't plugged it that in so long. I think it's the
broken remote at myspace.com.
I'll plug it next time. Whatever. Yeah. We'll get rolling with all that kind of stuff. I used to plug it and then nobody ever wrote, so I was like, oh, okay, so be it. But how out 320 plus interest. How do you make that back?
Well, obviously,
Like, that's
once you graduate school, you have like a lot of pep in your step. You got a gleam in your eye. You go to the first job that you see around the corner, like your parents told you, and you say, "Sir, I'd like a job," and you work there for 40 years, get your pension and gold watch, and you're done. That's how it works, right? That's what I've been. What I've been told.
What does that turn into? I'm not going to do a mortgage calculator, but I mean, I know what I'm
Oh
going
no,
to say.
houses are cheaper than ever, Rich. That's
It's
what
got
that's
it's over like 30 years. It's got to be 1,500 a month. I'm just spitballing here.
No. Homes are super cheap now as long as you only decide to rent and you don't own anything. I mean, it's
Like,
easy.
I mean, I don't even know how you would 320,000. I mean, people start at what 30, 40, and they start working themselves up. Unless you end up going tech, and and obviously I live in an area where everybody, especially people my age, are making so much goddamn money. It's ridiculous.
I'm just going to put it this way: if you're starting in a tech job, and I've talked to some of these kids, it's because their parents know people at those tech companies. It is not because of their degree.
Yeah, no, that's basically life.
You're not walking out with a San Francisco job where you're making like $120,000 a year while living at home with your parents because of your fucking Cornell degree. I'm sorry.
Right. It's nuts. I just don't understand it. And everybody must just be drowning in debt if they're young.
Yeah.
Like,
I know all this because I talk to all of these people every single day. And all the ones that are crushing it out of school, I'm like, looking you up on LinkedIn. What does your dad do? Got it. Cool.
Your seat is desired by none. I mean, I would just be sitting in my chair all day. Suck it, motherfucker! What am I doing?
Just my fingers bleeding as I grab my chair harder in anger. Look at this level of privilege.
It's just crazy. It really is. But I mean, the whole thing started with Trump and all the shit that he's doing with the tariffs and the economy and peeling it back and putting it back on, and doing deals in Qatar, and I can't follow it anymore. But
if only I had like a moral arbiter right now that could like get me through these times. Someone who's just so much smarter and better than me and could just give me like a story I could follow with such a basic message told horribly. Oh, Neil Druckmann from Last of Us 2. Where'd you come from? Oh my God. That's so convenient that you wind up here.
Let's just jump into it. How far are you in Last of Us?
I am 4 episodes in. I've not watched the latest one like yourself here, but I've seen a clip that has been circulating from the newest episode. And I'm going to just say, they are making changes to the game. They're bad. They're bad changes.
Bad changes?
They're bad changes.
Non-acceptable?
The game was already pretty divisive, and they're like, what we should do? Let's make it worse.
Well, let's just go with the basic storyline and point out what really throws everything off, which you had noted as we were getting ready for the season, which basically is that they knock off Joel, right?
Yeah.
Which everybody knows if you play the game. And if you didn't know it like I did, I did not know it. I was happy that I did not play the game because I didn't see it coming. And I thought all the way up to when she drove the goddamn golf rod into his head that he was gonna, I was like, how is he going to come out of this one? This is going to be I'm not going to like this at all. I'm going to bitch and moan the fact that he came out of getting his ass kicked this bad. And then all of a sudden she just drove it in, and that's the end of him.
My thing with it, so I was watching with my girlfriend. She did not know either, so she was panicking. She had no idea Joel was going to die. She knew someone was like based on I was like, you're not going to like this episode. She's like, how bad can it be? So she's like freaking out the whole time, thinking it's going to be Tommy or somebody else or one of the kids. Then that happens, and then I think she's going to like rage about it, and instead it's me who knew this was coming. Proceeds to like just rant and rave to her in this room about how much I hated that decision.
In the game, you mean?
In both, dude.
Well, yeah, okay.
I respect them for pulling in Ned Stark where they kill their main character.
Right.
But what Game of Thrones did, and we're not talking about later Game of Thrones, we're talking about early Game of Thrones. They had like a cast to back it up. And a plan. There's none of this here. Like,
I don't think so.
No. Like, dude,
they don't have none of the cast member carry like the gravitas or the balls that Pedro Pascal does.
And that's my problem.
Yeah, like it's all gone.
If you want to take away basically the lead, right? Now you could say it's Ellie, right?
Yeah, Ellie or Bella Ramsey, whatever her name is. Yeah,
Ellie is the lead, but through season 1 and episode 1 of season 2, Joel is the lead.
Yeah.
If you want to cut down Joel, fine. But you better have a cast of characters that the audience could then turn to and follow with the same interest as Joel.
Yeah.
They offed him. I don't know where to fucking turn with this show in order to follow it. I'm not into Ellie.
It became a really bad buddy comedy.
Well, yeah, it is true, right? Because, yes, you've watched as much as I have. So, yes, it did. The episode after Joel was ridiculous.
Dude, the level of seriousness is just, it feels gone. In the game, like we said, Joel's dead. The whole rest of the season is basically Ellie going on a rampage, revenge quest to kill the girl that killed Joel. That's her whole rest of the show. And the arc of the game is basically they try to do it subtly, but he does not succeed. Where he's like, hey, revenge is bad, and if you go down this road, that's bad for you. That's like the arc they're trying to the message they're trying to push, despite the fact that the whole game is like, no, you don't have the option in the game, by the way, to do like something peaceful. The whole game revolves around you as Ellie killing everything.
Everybody trying to get to the main girl, and I forgot what her name is. The one in Seattle.
Abby, whatever her name is.
Abby, yes, that's right. You got it.
Which is, dude, I'm getting animated here because it just makes me so mad. It makes me so mad, but it's like you can't have a game where your message is sometimes you just got to let it slide off your back like a duck. Well, you can do that if you gave me a pacifist option in this game, and instead the game is about me having to bash everyone's head in with a fucking brick. Otherwise, I lose the game. I'm sorry. You can't have it both ways.
Was it a fun play, regardless of the problems in the storytelling?
The gameplay's fine, and I respect the people who made it, because they clearly have a bunch of talented people in that studio. But when you have one shit writer who's calling the main shots, and the game, it's not like GTA, dude, where you can do whatever you want. This is a hallway. There's nowhere else to go. You are starting from one end. You are going to point B. You can't do anything else.
You're following their story.
You're reading their story. Book. And when their book is just fucking obnoxious the entire time, it's going to piss you off. And somehow this show, the level of seriousness, because the whole game, I'm sorry, I'm just going in.
No, as you should. That's what we're here for.
The whole game, dude, is Ellie just progressively getting darker and darker and darker, where she's just letting revenge consume her, where she's just lashing out at her friends. So that Dina girl that
she's kind of like that now.
But it's so much more aggressive in the game.
In the game,
and it's
I follow.
In the game, where in the game, she's so they go to Seattle to take revenge, Ellie and her friend, and they're treating it like a Marvel buddy comedy. What's your favorite song? I like the Beatles. And then, of course, they're lesbians now, and they love each other. And
do they do all of that in the game, too?
All of that's there.
It is there.
Dina is
including
pregnant.
the scene when,
where she's
doing a little hand play?
That was different.
Yeah, I figured
that
as
was,
much. Okay.
Thanks, HBO. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool of you guys.
HBO, we've talked about it before, they fucking get off by giving the okay to all of the queer and
I have not seen a regular sex scene in Game of
Thrones
in
incest, right? They get off on saying oh, that sounds great, do it.
Yeah, season 1, I love Nick Offerman, but they had a gay scene. Now in this one, there's another gay scene. It's okay, cool, more power to you, but
And I mean, look, I am not a saint by any means, and nor am I a content priest here. But
no, he's from Chicago. Yeah,
that's true. See what he did there? Is that I don't know. Like, it was a little over the top. Right? Like,
Yeah.
if you want to show them hooking up, okay, fine. But like, what are you trying to do? Like, what do you?
Listen, I'm not trying to see
You're
someone
getting
like.
off by putting them in that position to put it on camera so that other people can watch it.
It's
And
like
it's
trying to
kinda-
give me a lesson on how to play the accordion is just what it felt like. Just like you're going to put your fingers here for the primary placement. Now this is how you do an E note. E for Ellie.
I mean, it just was much.
for
It was a
guys
little
up
much.
there. Anyway, yeah, it's a little bit.
Like, you don't have to do that for me to understand that they're in the, in the throes of passion and
Dude.
enjoying each other's company, and they really love each other. And
So in the game, and this one annoyed me. I don't know if everyone else felt this way, which, fair. So the one girl that's with Ellie reveals she's pregnant because
yes.
which is just
Do
like
we know the guy? Have they
Yes,
introduced
it's
them and I
Jesse,
wasn't
it's
paying
Jesse.
I wasn't paying attention to it?
Jesse was he was the Asian guy. He was hooking up with her, but they just have never had a
Oh,
scene
the
together.
one from the beginning when they were doing he
Yeah,
was
that-
like monitoring
they're
the
hooking-
fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
guy?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah. They just had never held a scene together because why would you do that? That's just establishing character dynamic. I don't have time for that, Rich. Okay, I got somewhere else to be. I'm HBO. I do 6 episodes and I'm done.
Well,
Off to Star Wars to ruin that.
Well, the variant of time as we go on in this podcast is something that I just don't understand why nobody can do anymore. But go ahead.
HBO's just tired of it, dude. They're so tired today. They're so tired. But anyway, I'm tired today, Rich. So in the scene where she reveals she's pregnant, like in the show, she's like, "I'm gonna be a dad" with some stupid Marvel joke.
Oh, the dad thing.
The dad
like
thing.
you're
It's
not
like-
going to be a dad. You're not
Yeah.
going to be a dad.
I get it's a joke, but it's like in the game, dude. So she reveals she's pregnant, and here's my reaction: if you're going into fucking Seattle, which is covered in fungus zombies, and there's this paramilitary group that murders everyone that steps within 60 feet while you guys are screaming on top of your fucking horse that goes through a street, and then you find out your friend's pregnant, you're like, fuck you. Why are you here? Go home. So that's what happens in the game where she's like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. If you're pregnant, why are you here? You're a burden now. And the game is just like, or the show is just like, that's great. Let's murder everyone together now. It'll be a family bonding adventure.
I think at one point when they were on top of the roof at the end of the last episode, didn't she kind of do the whole, you should go home? But it wasn't aggressive and over the top.
It was more aggressive in the game. In the game, she's literally just like, fuck you. Are you serious? Like, it's when she reveals it where she's just like, you're a fucking moron.
Gotcha.
Just,
I will say that I don't know. I don't get the relationship because they just threw it on you in the very first episode. So the time lapse from the end of last season to the beginning of this season, as I mentioned, the variable of time, modern content creation, I don't know if it's content, but movies and TVs, I just don't think that they understand how disjointing it can be to their overall story. And one here is, okay, I get it. You showed the two of them dancing, and then the one guy called him queer. Did he call him queer? Or
yeah, he said Dykes. Yeah.
Dykes. That's right, Dykes. It was a negative. I couldn't think. Dykes, and then Joel comes in.
Which maybe he's talking about, a water treatment facility or like something that is blocking a body of water, which is also what a dike is.
That's true, yes. However, Ellie had this same thing last time with the chick in the right. Didn't she have a little fling with I think it was a black chick?
Oh, when she was like her backstory thing.
Yeah, in the underground. What do you call it? It was an underground mall, right, or some shit like that, or maybe it wasn't underground, but it was a mall that had power and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like, you're throwing all of these relationships with Ellie at me, and I don't care about them to begin with, but I also can't get attached to them. And now it's like a huge pivotal part of this story. Is that, she's pregnant, and I'm going to be a dad. And it's like, okay.
I'm going to be a dad. So it's like, fuck you.
I'm still sitting there like, I want Joel back. Give me fucking Joel.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of Pedro Pascal, but I would take Joel back in a heartbeat.
I will say, you're not the first person I've heard that from, and that is my favorite review of the show, where it's like, I'm so sick of seeing him everywhere. But, like, in the one, like, it's like that, what's it called, the monkey's paw wish, where be careful what you wish for. It's like,
Monkey's paw wish? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
Yeah, monkey's paw. It's where you make a wish, but the wish is always interpreted in the most like ironic sense. Where you're like, I
didn't know there was a name for it. I obviously know the idea of it.
Yeah, where it's just like, I want a drink of water, and then just like all of a sudden you're in the middle of the ocean, and of all the water you need, where you're going to drown there. That's like basically how it works. I wish I'd have to see Pedro Pascal everywhere. No, not like this. Not like this. Oh, no.
Well, don't worry, everybody, because you're going to be getting him in Fantastic Four, coming to theaters, July, whatever. But yeah, without him here, I just don't care. And the Ellie thing, I'm just done with it. I can't stand the fact that I just keep getting thrown these relationships. Like, it's a relationship show? Is that what it is? It's not quite a zombie show. But, and also...
They're there. They show up from time to time. But who cares? Zombies. You know what's there to watch? The zombies. You're there to watch a lesbian love story blossom.
Yes. And I know that this is going to come across as completely sexist, and I'm sorry.
Someone's not an ally. Someone's not an ally.
I am so tired of, especially Disney and especially Max and any HBO production, just throwing the Mary Sues in my face. I just am fucking done. I'm done. I'm done. Another kick-ass, strong woman. Okay, I get it. Women can be strong, too. In this case, I don't believe it at all, by the way.
Did you even vote for Hillary, Rich? Did you even vote for Hillary?
No.
That's what this is telling me.
No, and I didn't vote for Kamala either.
I'm going to have to reach out to 1-800 Women Police real quick. Let them know that I found another target. Yeah.
I'm watching basketball last night. It was the Knicks game.
Not the WNBA?
No, it's not the WNBA.
3 strikes and you're out, dude.
And I know that some of these names, I'm not going to, there's only one name, but I'm watching this thing, you might not know these, but just go with me, is that you turn on the Knicks, and over time, all of the broadcast crews have just changed, right? Mm-hmm. And so now, in order to watch the Knicks, I have to listen to a 3-person booth where the color commentator is Doris Burke. She's like this old woman. I think it's a Chicago accent, but it's just, it's mind-numbingly boring. I don't care. She kind of came out of nowhere. I think she was like a Portland play-by-play announcer, and then ESPN was like, we need checks, and so let's get her, and let's blow out all the dudes.
Well, HBO is a thriving brand right now, so I'm sure that was the best decision they could have made.
But it's everywhere. So I'm watching this Knicks game. It's Doris Burke doing color, and then they go to the studio show, and I didn't see the pregame. So then they go to halftime, and it's 2 more girls. I've never heard of these girls before in my life. And then this big fat guy, Brian Windhorst, who's been doing it for eons now. But I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry. This is the best that you can give me. And the problem is the girls aren't even good. Like, if you're going to give me, good female broadcasters, fine, but they've got to be good. These girls aren't. Same thing with these characters in this story. Like, okay, you want to make them Mary Sue's? At least let me get into it. I'm watching Ellie, and I'm like, her and her girlfriend, whoever the fuck they are, they're getting...
First off, her name isn't Ellie. Her name is Shane Gillis with a ponytail. Let's get it correct.
Yeah, she's fucking really weird looking.
I do feel that's really mean to say. The internet is piling on her for that, which is unfair.
But it's the truth.
Someone did point out that she looked just like Shane Gillis with a ponytail, and it's so accurate.
Her face does not have feminine features, which is also, it kind of fits her character, which works, but it's just weird to continually watch on camera because you're kind of like, what am I supposed to get into here?
Yeah.
But she would have been eaten, as would have her girlfriend, about 4 or 5 times now. All these other guys. Oh, and then she fought off. You saw the episode where... you're up to speed. The same one where they are in that one studio, broadcast studio, and the people are hanging, and then the military comes in, and they somehow sneak around so that nobody hears them.
She beat up the guy wrestling in the first episode, who is much bigger than her, so they clearly established that.
So if you
Yes, she's 5'6" and weighs 100 pounds, but a guy who's 6'4" that weighs 250 just has no match against her. I mean, she's just too nimble.
I was waiting for the scene that revisited that scene, because when they were doing that in the first episode, all you thought to yourself was, "Oh, I can't wait for her to beat up some dude, and this is the justification for it. We've shown it to you in the earlier episode. She's a badass."
In the game, she does not have superpowers. It's just the difference is she's basically the way you play it. I mean, you don't have to play it this way, but it's just you're sneaky, and she's just ridiculously brutal. She just she doesn't just stab a person. She bites their throat. That's how fucking just savage she is. That's how she kills everybody.
Abby's supposed to mirror that on the other side, from what I understand.
Yeah, and that's honestly, that's probably going to be season 3, by the way. It's probably just going to be from Abby's perspective. So everybody strap in for that. That's probably season 3.
To me, there's a lot of male characters that are female. And
Abby, I'm just so scared. Won't you please save me in my little skirt?
You're watching it, and I have no fear that either of them are going to, fall victim to anything. Ultimately, I bet I don't know the story. I would imagine at some point it's going to be Abby and Ellie face to face. They do some,
then they kiss.
Crazy fight. And then they probably respect each other at the end when one kills the other, and then, they're holding each other's hand. I get it.
I mean, do you want the spoilers or?
No, don't spoil it.
I was going to say, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Don't spoil it. I want to be fully enraged as I watch.
Yeah,
I am just the mad watcher. Everything I watch, I get angry at.
Just strap in for the next season. Greenlit season 3. I'm just going to tell you right now, this feeling you're feeling, it's not going to go away if this is what they're doing right now.
I imagine I can strap in all I want. I think they're going to probably strap on. See what I did there? Anyway, but yeah, so...
Well, they're going to need to. They're 2 lesbians. So,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Last of Us, to me, is just kind of lost. Now, I don't know what happens with the other episode. I don't even know if I should care about the disease itself.
It's just I think it's I never watched Walking Dead, but my understanding is the zombies were a real presence the first 2 seasons, and then at some point it's just in the background, and it's more just these characters just killing each other.
Completely, it's tribes. I used to call it tribes when we were at UBS because it's
guess what route Last of Us is going to go down?
Tribes.
It's tribes. It's going to go tribes.
Yeah. So I don't know the legs that this thing is going to have, because what is Ellie going to? Then Ellie kills. Let's say Ellie kills Abby, and then it's going to be but the whole thing that's weird about this is that she is immune, and they were trying to figure out a cure, but the cure would kill her, and that's why Joel saved her. But there is a cure somehow, some way she's immune. How that happens, you would imagine that the continuation of the story, if they decided to do more seasons, would be trying to explore how to actually use that to the general population and save them.
Ding, ding. Rich just found out about what everyone was saying about Last of Us 2 when the game came out, because they went, why isn't this what the story's about? Because I feel you could make a whole franchise about this instead of just trying to cap it off after this next game. Ding, ding.
There was never a Last of Us 3, right?
Probably won't be unless they decide to go back down that cure route. Boom.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Okay, so I don't know what they do. I don't know what HBO... I mean, it's been kind of a fun ride. I like the beginning. Like I said, the episode with the zombie war
that was cool.
Took place was really awesome. And I definitely thought that is... It was kind of a, hey, if we had our shit together for the ending of... Game of Thrones, this could have been the night battle scene with the
they used lighting
or whatever it was.
Yeah, they used lighting for that one. That's the problem. Yeah,
right. Remember they shot the whole thing in the dark, and everybody was like, I couldn't even see the goddamn thing.
Just completely black camera. I just remember watching it just with all the lights out in my apartment, going is something on my screen right now? I'm seeing.
Was it the Frost King? Is that who it was?
The Night King.
The Night King.
Yeah, such a badass name for such a fucking useless character at the end of the day.
Yeah, they really did that episode extremely well, and I thought that was great. It felt like it should have been at the end of a season instead of early on in the beginning, because now we're just kind of meandering through the rest of this Last of Us world, and I just don't know where to go with it. I mean, there'll be new bad guys, and then, like you said, tribes, and there'll be the Abby confrontation, and in the end, I really
At least we get more
reason I want Joe back.
lesbian. At least we get more lesbian sex. That's what's important. That's what really the show has been missing the entire time.
I don't want any more of it. I really don't. I'm done. I get it. You don't have to show me all of it for me to understand that they care about each other.
Yeah, thanks, Neil Druckmann. Really, really happy you decided to go this route with the game. So is everybody else, by the way. Really glad you took a really positive, well-reviewed show that everyone loved, and you're like, what if I completely divided the fan base?
Yeah, well, that's what you said happened with the game, right?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's happening again now with the show. It's like waking back up.
Have you been following crowd reaction? Because I have not.
Everything I see on Reddit is just the exact same conversation that happened when the games came out. Or people that are watching the show that did like the game are like, they're fucking it up. Like, even the elements I did like, they're not taking some of it as seriously as they did at the game.
Right.
Where they're like, okay, they're the revenge is bad angle. They're trying to make this a tragedy. They're not trying to make you feel good about this. Okay. Yes, that's the general vibe I'm getting.
Well, part of what I don't think has worked with that, and I've said it before, is the time jumps. Because even with Abby, I guess I would feel some kind of emotion if I knew that it was her dad, that Joe popped, right, and then came back. But you could have done that in season 1, unless I missed it. But I don't even think they introduced Abby. You didn't know that guy had a daughter.
It was a total retcon.
Right? So you could have easily, knowing that you were going to do this.
And that's something Disney's really good at, not, HBO as much, where they'll just take a thing they made and they're like, wait. Actually, Palpatine did have clones of himself.
Well, that's kind of where I was going, right? So you could have made me feel something for Abby had you introduced her in the season 1 and done the father dynamic and all that kind of bullshit. They decided not to do that. They did it in one episode. And then the time jumps didn't work. A Disney property to which you're talking about, which we both like, Andor, that's where we're going next.
Woo!
They're also doing time jumps. The time jumps there, I also don't think have worked for similar reasons. I feel like it's killed kind of the drama behind it. But
I like it.
You don't mind it.
I don't mind it. For Andor is just so much more well written in just every way. Like, even the plot lines are, I'm like, okay, they're on some cornfield, who cares? But there's something, dude, where they are expanding on the lore of Empire and how just fucked up they are, that I am just eating for breakfast. Like, it is just everything Andor does, where the Empire is just, we're auditing you in this farmland. We're just abusing our small level of power. Just adds on to the original trilogy for me.
Sure, I can see it.
I love it. It just makes them worse. I don't know, which I'm digging.
Yeah, I do enjoy the extra definition of the Empire, if you will, so you kind of understand it, even though you kind of understood it to begin with. I think that the problem that I'm having is that
they dress exactly like Nazis. So
the Nazi thing is almost ridiculous.
Not being subtle with it exactly, but yeah.
Season 1, I thought, was way more linear. It didn't have the time jumps, and I was just able to follow, and I understood it. Their approach this year is completely different. They're basically releasing these in 3-hour movie clips, right? So they're doing it over 4 weeks. There's 3 episodes per week. It's basically a 3-hour movie, and then they're doing a time jump between each week.
It's like a year each one.
Right. That brings you up to speed and jumps it along.
And then I assume is going to position us. Now I'm still I'm maybe halfway through. And by that I mean for what was out. So I'm episode 4 right now is what I just finished up.
So
So
you finished the first leg of it, which
Yes.
was episodes 1 through 3, right?
yeah, 1 through 3 are done, and I'm done 4 as well.
Okay.
And I'm
So
digging all of it so far.
here, I'm not trying to steer you away. I do enjoy Andor. It's
Yeah.
probably, the original trilogy I love. I don't know if I like any of the sequel or prequel trilogies. The
prequel ones I have a soft spot for. I don't necessarily think they're good, but I have a lot of nostalgia for them, which I understand is different than it being an overall good story, if that makes sense.
No, it completely makes sense. I think that I did like The Mandalorian, and I loved Rogue One.
Whoa, you got to be specific when you say Mandalorian now.
Season 1 and a little bit of Season 2.
There we go. Right, yeah.
Season 3, no, not so much.
Because we needed to bring Pedro Pascal into this conversation even more.
Right, of course. You can't get enough of that guy. And but I did like Rogue One, and I do like this being tied to Rogue One because I do feel it's going to, I don't know, help, reinforce and add material to that movie on its own, right?
Yeah.
Because they will show you K2S1, K2SO, the droid.
Yeah, the really cool droid that everyone liked.
Right.
It was like Jar Jar Binks, but done right. Where it's like...
Correct. And I didn't know the guy who did the voice. And then I
saw...
Alan
Tudyk, yeah.
Yeah, right. He's a resident alien, and he's also the pirate in
awesome.
Dodgeball. And...
Gar. More treasure for Steve.
That's for Steve. A great fucking movie. But he's the voice of whatever. So, however, I guess what I read was they just did a serious fucking 100% retcon of how those two came to be. Because I guess there was a Marvel comic, which was canon, that was released around the time of Rogue One, where they told you where K2SO came from, and they just completely redid it in this one. So,
I mean, that was probably like some random writer. They're like, we're never going to touch these characters again. You go for it, Stan.
Right.
And then, the actual director comes and is like, whoa. I got this.
Right. They probably never thought that this was going to come around, right? Because when Rogue One came on, I think Disney Plus was in its infancy. And so then they just said, you know what, Marvel comic, fuck it. People enjoyed it, but we're just going to
Which is so sad because, Rogue One, I mean, we've talked about it, I think is the best Star Wars movie they have come out with since they bought Disney, or Disney bought it.
Oh, for sure.
Then,
it's
dude,
the only movie. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say Solo. I was gonna say that.
Solo I liked a lot of as well. There's a couple elements that were like major eye roll, but
completely.
Most of it was pretty solid.
But Rogue One is better than Solo.
And Rogue One had some of those as well, but most of Rogue One, pretty solid,
pretty good. And this being related to it, I think the original trilogy plus a little bit of Mandalorian, Rogue One, and this show along with Solo.
I am so glad they don't have a sequel trilogy after what's going to happen in the original trilogy that'll completely undermine everything that Andor is setting up. That'd be such a bummer, dude. If there was another empire that came out of nowhere, that'd be so ridiculous.
Well, that's the only thing that they know how to do. So, but at least with this, so they open up. Here's the thing. I love this series. I liked season 1 a lot. And this is what I wanted to say about the time jumps, is that I just feel that it's wasting actual episodes with shit I don't, number one, understand some of the time, and number two, I don't really care about. So episodes 1, 2, and 3 of this second season, we talked about this offline, I thought were a complete throwaway. What did those things establish?
I liked them because they were showing me the dynamics of the characters that I may have forgotten about from the last season, because I haven't watched it since I finished up season 1.
Okay.
It showed me Andor himself was way more capable. I mean, he fucked up with the flying it, but he's way more resourceful on the spot in terms of being a rebel. He's been doing this for a little bit.
Yeah, but you kind of know that already, no?
In the last one, he still was he was kind of a fuck. It felt like he was just the fresh new guy, and now he's clearly a little bit more capable. The wedding thing was, I don't want to say it was useless, because it was interesting to see her family dynamic.
Brother,
dude,
it was crazy, useless. Prancing around doing her little fucking pirouette, losing her shit because she's all stressed out about the Rebel Alliance coming up. Was like,
this was peak like Game of Thrones, House of Cards, when there's just there's these pieces on the game board, and everyone's trying to get it like all set up nicely. And they're just like, I got to make this personal sacrifice. I am not ready to right now if I want to just continue to stay in the game. I just like it. I don't know how else to put it.
Again, I'm not trying to steer you the other direction. Don't get me wrong.
I'm totally with you. I get the frustration where just like this is not adding to what I was looking for. But I trust these writers, and granted, I'm way further back than you, that they are going to use this in some intelligent way.
I mean, it did. Look,
or they're just trying to get more screen time because they were told they had to make 12 episodes.
That's the part that I'm frustrated with, is that I just think that you wasted 3 hours in 1 through 3, in episodes 1 through 3, that you could have done in one episode. Like, Andor didn't need to piss away 3 hours on what I didn't know was Yavin 4 until you said it, and I didn't piece it together. And if they did subtitle it Yavin 4 when he peeled away, I didn't even see it.
No, it was just the temples there. I was like, oh, that's from the first movie, episode 4. Damn.
And so I didn't really piece together that. And even when you told me, I wasn't like, I was just kind of like, oh, really? Like, okay, I still don't get it. But
yeah, that was like, that part felt like blatant Disney fan service. Like, oh, you remember? You remember this place?
Yeah.
That was in the movie you liked.
But here's another thing. What the fuck was up with the TIE fighter? What happened to it? I'll tell you, it never comes back. And I'm not ruining anything.
Yeah.
Because
I'm assuming they just need it for, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about the minutia. I don't care about the accounting the rebels have to do. I'm here for those high stress situations and just seeing like how these guys kind of like operate with their masks on or off. I wish I could put it more, but the way these characters react in their place, dude, there's like a real gravitas to it where they are taking everything deathly serious. And then you look at Last of Us, where they're like ranting about Smash Mouth while there's fucking zombies and paramilitary guys about to
yeah, no, facts.
Actually, I'm a Believer came out during the Shrek movie and is not as good as All-Star. And don't even get me started about Walking on the Sun.
And you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to hold on to here?
Oh,
like,
my God. When Ellie was playing the fucking acoustic guitar and her girlfriend comes up, and it's like, oh, my God, that's so beautiful.
That's
like,
so pretty. Can I give you a massage on your vagina? And you're just like, damn, subtle. This one just treats it so much better. I don't know.
For sure. I wanted more story. I wanted more of this serial episode storytelling where it kind of all links together and you're waiting for next week because next week is going to be a continuation, and I'm really into the show, really into the story, where this one is like, all right, I don't know. I know he's going to get off this planet. I know he's not going to stay here. And then ultimately he just drives away. And I'm kind of like, oh, fuck, we're never even going back to there.
Well, because part of it was showing you, like, there's these tangent parts, like the rebel group, like the group he's with on the Yavin 4 that kidnaps him.
Right.
They're tangentially rebels. They're like a very like a loose outcropping of them, and they're just unorganized as fuck. They're just shooting whatever that moves. They're just trying to escape. They're completely unorganized. And you're like, okay, the rebels are kind of fucked up too. And I'm thinking back to season 1, dude. Like there was that whole 3-episode arc where he's in the prison.
Yes.
And you're just like,
I thought that worked, and that was kind of oddball because it was
great,
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's weird, and at first you're just like it's an awesome sequence, but I guess if you look at it outside of that, you're like, well, why is this in the show? He's in prison, he's making some machine, who cares? And then the very end, you're like, actually, look what this machine was being used for the whole time, and you're like, that is so fucking cool. I already love that sequence, and now it's even better because I know that this is what they were making.
However, in hindsight, that whole being trapped in a jail thing is just kind of ridiculous anyway, because you put him in the jail and you had some good conversations and all the rest of it, and then ultimately you find out that they're producing these panels for the Death Star. But that kind of was a waste too, because
I don't know. I know you think it's a waste. For me,
I didn't mind
it's just
it. I didn't mind it nearly as much as episodes 1 through 3. But I'm just saying, in hindsight, it was kind of like, yeah, what did they actually do there?
It's like Game of Thrones, where you can have like a separate like almost
side quest.
It's like a side quest or a bottle episode, dude. But if you're adding lore that just does not infuriate me, it adds like bits and pieces to the story of this universe in a way that I'm like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm there for it. That's so awesome, and that's what
as
I
am
think
I. And
doing.
I was not bothered by the prison scene. I was bothered by the compartmentalization of like episodes 1 to 3 in the second season, only because I just thought there was probably 2 hours there that you could have spent towards something else.
It's just, I don't know. There's something, because this is a Star Wars show too. So was Ahsoka. Everything in the Ahsoka show was infuriating.
Yeah.
Nothing they did was right. She gets stabbed with a lightsaber. Like, you got this really cool,
right.
you get this really cool villain that does fucking nothing. R.I.P. Despite being like literally trying to hold the fucking show on your shoulders.
I hope the new guy's good, by the way.
I hope so too. I was rewatching scenes with him, and I was like, damn, he really carried Ahsoka really hard. He's the only reason that show worked. But yeah, Andor is just doing that same thing for him, but it's every storyline. I'm digging it. Even if I don't know the name of all the characters, because I do not know Cassian's love interest girlfriend.
No. Well, Lutheran, here's another question for you. And something that I thought was working in season 1, and as it goes along in season 2, I'm kind of questioning it. Like, the Lutheran, and I forgot his last name, but the Lutheran character, and I forgot the actor's name who plays him. But
Skarsgård?
Huh?
Skarsgård, the main rebel?
Yeah, I think the main rebel guy. Like, I get what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to basically formulate the Rebel Alliance. I understand it. What I don't understand is, what are they really accomplishing, right? Because they kind of don't show it on they just show him doing stuff, right? They're like, oh, do this for me and do that for me. And, in the beginning episodes, they're still trying to, spy on people and do this. But I'm just kind of like, well, what are you aligning? I don't know what you're aligning. Yeah. And I guess ultimately that would be the Yavin 4 and... you see a little bit of it in in Rogue One, and then obviously the original trilogy. But I don't know. I don't think I see enough behind the curtain to value it. I just feel like he feels like a super big guy, and he's not in Rogue One, and he's not in.
I mean, he's
so he's gonna die.
He's gonna die. Yeah.
So. I want to feel something when he ultimately passes, and I kind of don't know what he's doing. Like, I get Mon Mothma, right? Because she's around forever.
Yeah, I feel like he's specifically there to be like, he's just setting the stage, or he's putting the groundwork in to get this organization going. Like, he's getting whatever the funding they need. He's getting like the projects together to... Like, I feel like he's just really, like, setting the whole thing up.
Like, the funding I understand. And I'm not going to ruin anything, but you just don't see his interaction with kind of, like, the greater alliance. Like, it's all behind the scenes. And I'm probably asking too much out of a 12-episode show, but...
Yeah.
I'd love to see a little bit more of that as the show goes on, because then I've been like, oh, there's the Rebel Alliance. I get it. I get what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I got to imagine they're doing something like that towards the end, or they're going to reveal, because obviously they have like something kind of set up by that. I mean, by the point of what's it called, Rogue One, they got something kind of underway.
Yes, well, because everything's established at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Like, his whole point is he is doing that establishment, or like the very rough foundation. And the reason they're doing the time jump is it's just like, okay, they're getting the funding. Okay, they got this. They're getting the information. There's some big plan going on. They need to use some sort of like propaganda to get people to their cause. Like, the Empire just took over. Farmers from fucking Tatooine, they're not going to give a shit. They're so far away. Why would you care about joining the Alliance when you're just like, I just want to make sure that my weird duck dinosaur things are just well fed. I'm going to put my head down. And I'm assuming that's what the whole point is, because this show, I trust them. That's all I'm going to say. I trust these writers. They seem to know what they're doing. After seeing
Episode 8.
so much other hot garbage, dude, out there, where they're just like, and then my Mary Sue character is going to come along with her 4 lightsabers, and they're all my favorite color.
They really fucked that up.
And then she's actually more powerful than Darth Vader. I know Darth Vader is the strongest and he's fan favorite, but no, this is my original character who looks just like me, and she kills Darth Vader, and now she's Darth Vader. She wears his armor, but it's more powerful. And it's like, I thank you so much, new writers, for every single Star Wars movie. That's so cool of you.
It was on TNT or whoever owns it, and they were showing all of the old ones again and the new ones. And I found myself watching the last one, Rise of Skywalker, again. And God, we can't go down it, but man, it is just really bad. It's really, really bad.
It's
aged
somehow
even
more.
worse.
It's somehow more infuriating, dude, than the last one ever will be. Than what was the Last Jedi?
Last Jedi. Yes.
The Last Jedi I despise, but there's something about like the.
Well, the Last Jedi I won't even watch.
Talked about it to death. I mean, the Last Jedi I despise, but
I won't even watch it.
The Rise of Skywalker's like urge to just reverse everything they did because J.J. Abrams was a coward and had no plan and just couldn't stick to the bullshit that Rian Johnson laid out for him, which is his fault ultimately. He could have put something in place. God, I hate them both. I hate them all. J.J. Abrams, you and your stupid plant Nepo daughter can go fuck yourselves. She had no part in this, but I hate her too.
Who's his Nepo daughter?
It's just some girl named something Abrams. He's set her up.
Is she in the movie?
No, she's just like some singer now.
Oh.
He just cashed in every favor he was owed to probably ruin Star Wars to just give her a career.
I mean, as much as I hate The Last Jedi, and to be completely honest, the prequels, I'm not a fan of them. I don't watch them, but like I get it. And I understand the story, and it's fine. And some people really like them, and that's fine. The Last Jedi, really, to me, just kind of killed anything Star Wars could have been. And the Rise of Skywalker was just such groveling. It was just such fan service that made no sense.
Please like us.
Oh, fuck.
I know you thought we were doing something cool by killing off Chewbacca, but we're not that brave. Oh, jeez.
Right. And the combination of ruining Star Wars with Last Jedi and then trying to pander to anybody and everybody with The Rise of Skywalker, it just, like, that thumbprint, that Disney thumbprint on the franchise, I don't know if I'll ever get rid of it.
It's everywhere, dude. It's on every single piece of content they have. I mean, last thing I actually talk about before we go, because this is also Disney content and directly relates. Thunderbolts came out. You saw it. I have not. What is the general review?
I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. Like a 7 out of 10. Way better than
not better
Brave
than
New World.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, that's not a high bar.
way, like, I'm just comparing it to new age Marvel stuff that's come out. Way better than that. The only things that I didn't really like about it, I'll talk about the things I didn't like and then the things I did like. The thing I didn't like about it was the bad guy and kind of like the main story of like, it really was a movie that was put together to make these guys into the new hero force for Marvel.
You mean
to get
Suicide Squad? What are we? Some kind of
very Suicide
Squad.
Right. It was very Suicide Squad-esque. What I did like about it was there was I laughed at a bunch of it. There was a lot of fun lines about it. I liked the tone of it. The guy who is from Stranger Things, the big Red Guardian, I don't know the actor's name. But
Yeah. I forget his name too, but he's apparently fun.
Love him. He's great. And you know who I really love is Kurt Russell's kid. I don't know.
Oh, Wyatt Russell. Yeah.
Wyatt Russell, I thought in this movie is awesome. And to play this snarky Captain America, right, which is, I think U.S. Agent is the actual Marvel name. He's got the best lines in the whole thing. His character is phenomenal. They'll never give him his own movie because it doesn't make any sense. But fuck, I think his character probably could hold his own on a movie because
I rewatched 22 Jump Street. He crushes it in that movie. Like, I don't know why he's not in more shit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he does pull it off. He's kind of it's Deadpool-esque, right? Some of his humor, but he's not. He's more on the instead of being comedic, he's comedic just by his cockiness, right? And so I did like Wyatt Russell. I liked Red Guardian. I just liked putting it together. Sebastian Stan in Winter Soldier is kind of like he's like a throwaway. He's in it, but he's not. But
I felt like he was like the time to be like, hey, he's in the other Avengers, huh?
yeah,
You recognize him?
It's weird because they
Wasn't he running for governor in like the last Marvel movie?
in Brave New World, yes, he was a politician. They put him in this one. He's a politician, but he doesn't kind of like work as a politician. You could tell it's just not his spot. And then they bring him back into this, but. The things that didn't work was just the bad guy. The bad guy was like a stretch, and with the bad guy reveal
It's
and
a
all that
weird
kind of
one.
stuff.
I forget who he is exactly, but he's like a weird character. I forget how he works.
He's a weird character. I know him. The only reason I know him is because he is a card that was popular for a time in Marvel Snap, which is a card game on the iOS or Google or whatever mobile game, and it's fun. I still play it to this day. But Sentry was a popular card at a certain point, and so I knew him. And so, but as the bad guy, I don't know. Like it just is kind of weird. It's a weird ending. You want to know who really kind of attacks the issues that I have with it? Because as I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself certain things, and then I watch the thing that the guy you always send me, the Hollywood pitch meeting guy.
Yes, yeah, he's great. I love him, yeah.
Awesome, right? He did a fantastic job with the things that I was saying in my head in the theater as this movie was going on. Because there are definite things that you're like...
I have not watched it because I wanted to save that for...
you really should watch the movie because when he does it, you're going to be like, yes, 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 all of those things. Good point, good point, good point. And it is very funny. But, look, there are infinitely worse Marvel movies. I did enjoy it. I'm not going to watch it a second time.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, they made it basically to get the next step toward the Secret Wars Doomsday deal, right? And so that was the main part of this. And what's really going to ultimately send all this off? Sorry for the popping there. That's my
There you go.
My what do you call it? My fire tablets here shutting down because I haven't hit any buttons recently. What's really going to set things in motion is going to be the Fantastic Four movie. And they preview it before this movie. And, man, like, at the end of it, you'll just kind of be able to tell, like, okay, I can see what they're going to be doing here. They're definitely going Fantastic Four. And Fantastic Four is going to be the juggernaut.
I hope it's good, dude, because, like, it really is feeling like it's every other Marvel movie, it's a flip of a coin now where you're going to get something that's decent or you're going to get something where you're like, why am I watching this? Like, what's the point of seeing Harrison Ford turn into the Red Hulk? I feel like this is a waste.
Now, I don't want to, I know we're approaching the end here, but, in Thunderbolts, Red Hulk is part of the Thunderbolts. So,
that's what I thought. And it's literally named after him, right?
It might be because of General Thunderbolt, whatever. They tell the Thunderbolts, and it's kind of ridiculous where they come up with a name for it. But I thought he was going to show up in it, and then there was none. And so,
dude, Harrison Ford costs a pretty penny, which is also another ridiculous reason. Why did you cast Harrison Ford for that role?
Yeah, but you could have just thrown him in just for a little bit here or there. I don't know when they're going to bring back Harrison Ford. It'll obviously probably be in Doomsday or Secret Wars or something, but I don't know. I am going to have a little bit of trouble piecing everything together and see how they put it together. I can understand that Fantastic Four is going to be big. Thunderbolts are going to continue. But I don't know, and this is where I wanted to go, I just don't know how they're going to go back to the other people that are still left. The Thor, the original Hulk. Obviously, Sam Wilson is like a mediocre Captain America. They have no problem putting in everything, right? But who else is there? There's Doctor Strange is still around, right? So how they pull them back into it is going to be like, I don't know where they're going to do that. I think it's just going to be in an Avengers movie. Because
Well, they
there's
got
no
Doomsday.
Thor. There's no
Everyone's
Thor
talking
lined
about how
up, right?
They just started filming for Doomsday, so they're all the things on social media are about, like, Downey Jr. and everybody back on set, and they're like, oh, we're gonna bring people back. Who knows? Maybe Chris Star-Lord might come back.
I just think it's going to be a little jolting when they dump all these guys back on you out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in phase 1, 2, whatever the phase were.
I'm so curious how expensive that movie's going to be, dude. Because if they're just like, we are just going to shove so much money at this movie and hope it works out, I mean, that would be hilarious.
Well, I have read stuff online where people are predicting that they're going to turn Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars into like multi-parts. Where they say it's Avengers, Doomsday, but it's going to be Avengers Doomsday 1 and 2. They're going to give it unique names.
Yeah.
Right? Like Doomsday is going to be the first one, but the next one's going to be Doom, Final.
It is weird. I was rewatching like part of the ending of the first Avengers or one of them, and it's just like them talking about like, oh, the Infinity Stones are coming out, something big is coming, and it really felt like at the end of that movie you're going, yeah, these are building to something. Like they are building to Endgame or Infinity or whatever it was called. And you just watch the current ones, dude, and you're like, okay, so you're teasing some other Marvel character I'm vaguely aware of.
Right. Well, remember.
Cool.
In the She-Hulk story, they introduced you to Scar, who is Hulk's kid. Is Scar going to have a part on this? And if so, are you just going to throw him in there out of nowhere? Like, what are you doing with Deadpool and Wolverine? Are you going to pull them in here or not? I mean, what's going on in the space with Nick Fury and I forget the Skrulls and all that kind of shit? And where's Captain Marvel? Like, I don't.
That's right. Oh my God, Captain Marvel.
I mean, it goes on and on and on. So how are you just going to?
She's checked out.
You're just going to like data dump all of these characters out of nowhere when they've been sitting on the sideline along with the Thunderbolts. And it's kind of like, I feel like there should have been like 3 or 4 more movies in between Thunderbolts and Doomsday. But you're just going to get, if I'm not mistaken, Fantastic Four, and that's it.
I think they're just bored. They're just throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks because they just don't have the Iron Man sticking power or like the original Captain America, dude. I was rewatching parts of that. I don't know why I was watching like old Marvel movies recently, mainly because I'm stealing my girlfriend's Disney Plus. Thank you.
Thanks, babe. I love you. Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you so much. Have a great time. But it's just like even the first Captain America, dude, which starts off with like a very eerie looking CGI of them pasting Chris Evans' face on that scrawny dude.
Yes, yeah.
It just, even from like a story perspective, it's like this just has so much more fucking weight to it.
Yes, for sure.
Garbage movies. It's just like, oh, he's going to World War II. He feels like a pussy, but he's got like the heart of a hero. And then they give him the hero juice.
Right. It was an origin story that worked, as were the other ones.
And now it's just like, so now have you heard of this character? So he can manipulate cheese. So we're going to go into 5-hour backstory about how the Snap, which we're going to give a really stupid name to, called the Blip instead, genetically affected his makeup so that all dairy products, he's also now allergic to them, and that creates his arch nemesis. You're like, what is happening?
Well, there is an odd part, because they just did Daredevil. Did you watch, yes or no? Did we talk about Daredevil?
We did.
I can't even remember anymore.
I think we talked about it briefly, but from what I understand, it was like half of it's amazing, half of it kind of sucks because my understanding for how they made the show was the initial showrunner did not care.
Yeah, they redid
the whole
thing,
right? And then like eventually Disney's like, this sucks. We gave you so much money. What happened? They brought in some other guy who did care about the project, and he's like, stand back, I got this. He reshot a bunch of stuff. It was amazing. But the problem was, like, we're not wasting like $100 million worth of footage that's already complete.
Right.
You're using this in the show. So it's apparently a lot of ricocheting back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the show. I watched it all the way to the completion. I was a fan.
Whoa! What'd you do in your free time? That's up to you, Rich. I don't even know.
Oh, I don't have the thing up. Oh, I missed it.
If you guys are looking for me, I will be outside the lunchroom. I am
God.
still in 6th grade. Boom.
Oh, man.
You are a stupid asshole.
That's exactly what he is.
Yes, I did finish it to completion. Very well done. We'll end it there, but yes, it was good. That is in New York City. The Avengers is in not the
They're always
Avengers,
in New York
sorry.
City.
That's in New York City. The Thunderbolts is in New York City. And I think it's along the same timeline, and they don't really, there's no Daredevil crossover. You don't really hear about it.
You don't hear about what's going on in Hell's Kitchen while they're dying out here, but
I don't even know what do you do with Daredevil and what do you call it, and Kingpin going forward, and
That's right.
And Punisher, because they gently introduce him. I don't know what they do with all of it. It just feels like Doomsday's going to come here.
Well, there's only 2 cities in all of the United States, Rich. They only got New York and L.A., and everything else is just a wash.
You're just going to drink superheroes from the fire hydrant when it comes down to these next Marvel movies, and which is not going to be fun. But
thanks, Kevin Feige. I know it's not your fault. You're probably just told to make as many movies as you can. Oh, by the way, before we go, because I got a lot of fun responses to this at the wedding. Fuck you, John and Alex. Yeah, listen to this show some more, you dumb bitches.
Yeah, you punk motherfuckers.
Yeah, fuck them up. Yeah, they're gonna comment about this.
Well, anyway, I hope you get the blowback from that. I will not.
Oh, I will, yeah.
I don't know John, Alex, or Fred, or Ted, or whoever it is, but yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, enjoy. We will...
I know you're listening to the end of this, John, on your long-ass commute. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, he's got a long commute. That's what that's what this is built for, baby.
Exactly.
This is built for those long train rides and bus rides with all the fucking hapless Americans out there that you're like, I got to be sitting next to this guy. Put on the tunes, you listen to us, and before you know it, you're at work. So, all right. Yeah, I even asked you how the best man speech went well.
It was solid. It was solid.
Nice. I'd play the hand clap, but it's on the same board that I'm playing the outro music. So.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. We'll get into that next time because I want to hear how it went. But for now, punching out. So, John, enjoy your commute. Will, I will talk to you later. Everybody else, all 5 of you, thank you for listening.
Yeah, woo!
Peace.
Maybe 6 now. Who knows?
There you go. And then 7. And then 8.